noticed, decided to get into acting 14 and a half weeks ago. This is week 15. Did you know that Cayens is 15 in French? So if you didn't know that, you learn something new every day. But yeah, to catch you up, if you're a first-time viewer, guys, I made that decision after being in sales and trying my own online businesses for a little while, but I was spiritually misaligned. God had a little conversation with me and told me to do something else, and where my heart always was film. And the reason that I was in sales and wanting my own businesses is to make films eventually and to have that financial freedom. But those things were so draining to me that it just came to a point where I just couldn't do it. And life's short, so if you're hating a lot of the work that you do, even if it's like for the sake of doing something that you enjoy later, it's like that's a bad trade-off from what I've seen. So here we are. I got into acting school. That starts in September. And guys, I was telling you guys about getting some headshots. I got some headshots done last week. I made the decision to just go and book them. There's a nice lady who took them for me here in town. Not too pricey relative to $1,000 headshots in Toronto, so that was sweet. I think I'm Canadian. I don't think I mentioned that. Oh fuck, this road's closed. No, that's crazy. I love this road. It makes me so sad. Okay, we're just gonna do a little U-ey, and then. But anyways, I was like, gears are grinding too. Oof. You guys who drive stick, you know what's up. You know what the grinding gears sound is. It hurts my soul deeply when that happens. In this car, she's getting old, man. She's got about 300,000 kilometers. If you see sweat on my face, it's because there's no AC in here. And it's about 15 or 20 degrees Celsius here right now, so it's getting warmer. And I was out working outside all day. That's another thing. I started a new job to be able to pay for headshots and training and certain things like that, and also have first and last month's rent by the time I get to Toronto, so that'll be good. So it's maintenance and also a little bit of serving and bartending, that type of thing. So I'm excited for it. But what I was talking about with agents, essentially, I was like, I'm gonna apply to agencies as soon as I can, because they're the people who can get me like real results. But my resume, non-existent. Like, I never did theater, I never did anything else. So I'm pretty much green in the industry. So my thing has been and researching like union, non-union, and like that type of stuff. I started reading Jenna Fisher's book. She's got like an actor's survival guide. She's paying from The Office. Good book so far. And she was talking about agents and representation and how your headshot's extremely important, and then that leads to different opportunities, because even if you just look the part, even if you just look like you could play this person, that'll get you cast sometimes. So I think for me, I need to focus on building my resume and actually getting some credits under my belt, because that is what is going to get agents to actually take me seriously. Because if I just rock up, I apply to all the best agencies in Toronto. They're like, here's this headshot of me. Like, I have zero experience. I'm not even in training yet. And I am. Can you get me some high-paying acting jobs? They just like flip through next and find somebody else that has more training. So like, I need some credits and something that's like just tangibly good, because I was in an industry called high-ticket sales, right? And high-ticket sales essentially was working for influencers and selling their courses and coaching. And it's very similar to acting in that there's almost like a fugazi to how you get jobs. And they just won't take me seriously, and then if they see your face multiple things that have calls for specific things. Maybe there would be student films, and there's certain websites, like, thank God a lot of it's just, online now, because most of it's just self-tape. So you just submit video of yourself, and then if you have the right vibe, right tonality, then they'll probably do a live audition with you, is how I hear it going from now on. So yeah, if I can get involved with some short films or some student films or commercials or super small or extra roles in stuff like that's non-union, that's shooting in Toronto, that would be awesome, because I feel like it'll get me around a set, might meet some people, might get paid a tiny amount of money, but the credits, it'll look good on a resume. It'll have some semblance, because realistically, how I'm going to, there's probably two paths that I see that are going to give me access to big roles. Is first, like, having like a huge independent brand and just essentially becoming so famous that they can't like ignore me, or go agent path where they're hooking you up with auditions that are behind closed doors that like aren't open casting calls. So I think that it's best to try and do both, which is why I have a social media presence when most actors actually don't just like talk as much bullshit as me. But that's one reason I have the social media. And I also see the value in agents, because essentially you're working together where they make commission off what you make, so it's like a win-win for everybody. So yeah, I think it's a good thing to do to just go and try and book some jobs. What's up, bud? There we go. Come on, guys. 2 for 2. 2 for 2 is such a good rate on people waving at you. I love that. This is the thing about a small town. I'm a small town guy. There's probably 20,000 people here in it's like 3 towns that are like all together. So like 20,000 people. Last time I was in Toronto, when we went out to a bar, I was just fist bumping people out in the street, and people were receptive to it. They were loving it, and that's fun. But like, people are generally less friendly in the city, and there's like more risk associated with interacting with random people there. That's what I like about a small town. So there's pros and cons to leaving. I'm excited to be pursuing this opportunity. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. I'm just trying to wrap my head around and do as much research as possible on agents and unions and start looking for work. If you guys watch me and you are in Toronto and you actually want to shoot something, I have a business email that is in my channel. Hit me up. And guys, also check out the Substack. I post more long-form written articles on there, some content that I just don't post on YouTube. There is a paid side that's completely optional. You don't have to do that. But guys, I appreciate you watching on the way through. I'm fired up for how this is going, and guys, we're feeling optimistic. Got some nice headshots for pushing things forward, and time to start looking at some work. But guys, new job this week too, as like a maintenance guy and as like a bartender later in the summer, which hence the sweat and the disheveled appearance. But yeah, I'm excited, guys. Things are looking up. A few of my buddies just moved back here, so the proverbial